I've officially reached the stage in life where I find more joy in plants than most people, where I like watching birds and working in my yard and avoiding anyone who speaks words. I don't know what this stage is called. There's a bird. Anyway, if you're in this stage with me, welcome.
Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Waini. I do videos on countryside living because I do live in the Kenyan countryside. So leo nimeamua kufanya video on my plants, my plant collection, the type of plants I have, because I think my story is good to tell. Because when we first moved here, we live in semi-arid type of land, so it gets really dry. Like kama sai, it's August, kwa hivyo vitu zimekuwa, the grass is dry, it's not as green as you've seen in my previous video. So what made me do this video, I've seen my video I did in last November, ilikuwa on propagating plants during the rainy season. It's popping up right now, it's getting a lot of views, so I've decided to do a video on sharing you my plant journey when it has not been easy, kwanza if you live in dry areas. So let's get started. So the first plant I got, let me show you. This is the first plant that we got. So this is the first plant that I planted. It was actually a small cutting, just a little bit of a small one. This is an arrowhead. It's so simple to grow anywhere. So the first time when we moved here, we were planting plants on the ground. They weren't doing so good. So we got, so this is one of the planters that we had when we were moving back here. It's this cement one. So when I planted the arrowhead, it was just a small cutting. So they do multiply, that's why it's easy to propagate and it's cheaper. So I got that as the first plant for us. So this arrowhead is simpler to grow. Even just a small cutting, it can grow into all this bush. As I'm telling you, with a small one to the first plant, and once it bloomed into this big thing, it can motivate to transplant it to, I decided to transplant it here. I transplanted it into this other cement pot. So what I noticed is with the arrowhead, when we planted it here, I think it adapted to this place. From that, whatever I've shown you to this, it can generate into this version of the arrowhead. This is a different version, and shockingly, I don't know what happened. So this one just started growing upwards, so I put a little bit of a support system over here so it can mare, and the vines continue to spread. Zika spread mpaka huko, and they're forming roots on the wall. So the arrowhead, I can tell you, it's a good starter plant for dry areas. Sababu size during the dry season, yeah, it does turn, like the leaves do dry up, but when you water it, like it continues to grow. And as you've seen, even on cement, because down here we have cement, it runs and attaches itself to the walls, and the vines, like the roots are not even that harsh to the cement, doesn't make it crack. So yeah, our other plant yenye tulikuwa nayo when we were starting, it was this plant. I'll be putting the names of the plants zenye sikumbuki majina. The time I knew the names of this plant, like one size CG. So it was this one. It was also small. Like over the years, it has grown into this big stalk, just calling itself over and over and over and over again. So it's a good plant. It's a good plant for dry areas. Kwanza, if you plant it in this containers, does not need a lot of soil changing. It just generates its roots over itself and continues to grow. So the other plant that we got when we moved here, it was this succulent. I don't know the name, but I'll put it. So this succulent I've seen in areas near here. It grows even on rocks. It grows on rocks, like even in rocky areas, just spreads over the rocks. It just needs a little bit of soil. So we planted it, I think, in one of these containers, and it spread to all these places, and we let it just do its thing. So even it grows on the cement. It doesn't cause cracks on the house. So sababu our place isn't that conducive for many plants or planting on the ground, we just let them run wild and grow wherever. Yeah, so the other plants we have, which are common in Kenya and also cheap to have, ni hizi, these purple plants. I know you've seen them kila mahali, kwa hivyo zinakuanga kila mahali. And also the same plant it is spread to this area, it grew up to here. So the other plant I wanted to have in my collection was this. This is a Boston fern. So I went to visit my shosho. She just lives not far from here, and I saw like these Boston ferns grow naturally on the rocks near the river. So I got some from her place and planted them here. So at first ilikuanga tricky for me to maintain them. They used to keep on drying, but now on the secret, these plants need to be watered like daily. Like today I've watered it, yesterday, like every single day. They just need that maintenance because the climate is really hot. So ukiacha one day, if you just miss one day, unapata imekauka. But I'm happy I got to know the secret of this. So another thing most people don't put water with charcoal ash in this, because they do make them dry. That's a mistake we did in the past. So right now, like we're reusing soapy water, we'd put charcoal. You know, that way of making soapy water conducive for plants. Nikimwona akitaka kuwater, I'm like, no to that plant. You just doesn't need charcoal water. Charcoal water is good for other plants. Like charcoal is good for making the soil more alkaline. Or wait, it's a neutralizer. Miss these bits of chemistry. I can't remember what the needs were. So this is kwa ground we have planted aloe vera plants. So there are different versions of the aloe vera plant huku. That's what I've noticed, that these ones which grow upwards after this, the common aloe vera, and also there's the other ones with the spots. So hii ndo tulipanda hapa nje. The others there's just somewhere around the compound, and I think I'll show you later. And so I'm just going to show you whatever I have outside the house as for now. I also have this plant. I'll put the name venye nimesema. It also runs downwards like the vessel. So with time, I know it will have grown. As you can see, it has already continued growing to just run here. That's what we are focused on, the plants that just run along the walls of the house to make it more greener around this area. Yeah. So moving on, we have this plant. This is also another great house plant. I'm pretty sure you've seen this on Pinterest. We just plant it on cuttings, and also I love this plant because when it grows, it gets these flowers, and zikianguka huku kando, when they fall on the sides, that's where the other plants come from. As you can see, like, we just love, if you're living in a dry area, find plants which will make themselves grow over and over again without you having to do anything. So this one grows by itself. Even here, I didn't plant it, it just appeared, and I let it grow because I love it. Alafu hapa we have an arrowhead. As I can see, this one ran just from here and grew here. It was this metallic pot that ilivunjika, and obviously you can't continue using it to cook food, so we just let it, put soil in it, put it here. This one gave birth to it, and we continued. Kwanza, let's go back to this. We have the golden pothos. Also this so we got this curtain, like a small curtain, just from when my sister went to Maseno, just from all the way from Kisumu, and she came with a curtain. So we planted this, like, I don't know where the mother went. I think the mother is on the other side. So nikachukua hizo and I put it here. At first ilikuwa inakataa, and for some reason it started flourishing. Up to now imemea mpaka huku chini, so we just let it to spread. As I have said, we just love plants which continue just running along the house, because that's how we are going to build an ecosystem around here. Yeah. More of this. Kuja. In this corner we have this is the spider plant. Also easy to grow. I know if you have a spider plant, also it in a mare, but it's like it propagates itself like simply when it grows. Those spider falling things, that's what just grows in the next container. So itaisha hapa. If it gets some soil and some water, the roots appear from those spider hanging things. I know you've seen a spider plant. I will insert a photo with the hanging, what it's called, a spider plant, those hanging things. Yeah, it makes itself grow. And also this plant, easy to propagate, and also PIE, it has spread by itself. When these things, they fall to the next container, trust you me, they do grow. This is how you propagate it. Just this. Succulents have their own unique way of continuing to grow. So if you just pour it on soil, it germinates. I love that about this plant. So here we have hydrangeas plant. So I love the hydrangeas. Let me say, I was influenced by Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. Remember that scene where Jenny Humphrey asked her, like, what flowers are those? Then she was like, the hydrangeas. I've always wanted to know how. And I'm usually the type of person, I won't want to get the flowers, but I'll want to get the plant just to be seeing the flowers appear. I enjoy seeing the flowers appear. If you watch the Summertime Pretty, that area for Cousins Beach you've seen just has those hydrangeas, those blue ones, the different colors. I love them, and also love the way the hydrangea plant changes color based on the acidity of the soil, or the chemical composition of the soil. So if it's acidic, it turns this color. If it's basic, it's this color. Napenda hivyo. So this is I think the only plant the most expensive plant I bought. I bought it for, I think the lady, she was selling it for about 300 shillings, but was tukanini akaniuzia I think at 250. So this was the mother plant. Let me move this. My mom was doing a thing with this. So this was the mother plant, and this is why I wanted to do this video in August during the dry season. In the previous video, like the video which people are watching, I shot this plant during the rainy season. Why not during the dry season? Oh yeah, during the dry season. So I just left home for 1 week, and this my brother and whoever is at home, they forgot to water this plant. So the hydrangeas, I've been doing my research on it. It requires watering like daily. They didn't water the plant, so what did it do? It like somehow dried, like the leaves are very dry. And also this one ilikuwa inaendelea vibaya. So I told them this plant must be watered every single day, and they also love the sun. If I need them to flower, they need the sun. That's why I put it in this corner, because in the evening it does get sun. And what else? So this plant requires extra care. Like hini, it's good for dry areas. It's like like if you water it, yeah, that's the only care that you have. Alafu here, this is my propagation things containers right now. So this plant is the, what's the name? So it's the pea. The 20 yellow white flowers. This is the plant. It grows into an entire big tree. It looks like the rubber plant, but it's a tropical plant. I think from Hawaii. If you've watched Hawaii and videos, these plants are common in the tropical areas. So my mom was telling me during when the missionaries were around here, it's when this plant was introduced here. So I got this from our chief's camp. It was just growing there, and I propagated it from like these cuttings from there. Nikakuja kupanda, ilikuwa rahisi ku propagate, so I can't wait to plant them on the ground. I don't know where I plant them because they do grow into big trees. Though I get those flowers, they do smell good. For once, I'm not like, as a person who sneezes a lot because of flowers and stuff, I just love plants with good scents. And speaking of good scents, I have my lavender plant. So this is my propagation. Yeah, this is the plant I bought. I don't know which video I did. I think it was the September video last year or the July video. When I got this, there's a video I've done when I was planting the hydrangeas and this lavender. I said it was my first lavender plant. It was so tiny. I didn't even expect it to grow into such a big tree, like a big lavender plant. So the lavender, obviously, good scent, and I don't know who cut it. Jana, it had flowers. Somebody cut one of the flowers, so it was starting to flower. So with the lavender, also it doesn't require that much of care. And so what I've learned also, even propagating it isn't so hard. The lavender plant isn't so hard to propagate, so I did learn the secret to getting cuttings from here and making here. So I have 5 baby lavender plants. Yeah, I gave there were 6, and I gave 1 to my friend. It's in one container, but I'll really soon I'll do a video when I'm nikizitoanisha and putting them different containers, because I really want them to grow to be this big. So what I learned for these flowering plants to get flowers, they do need potassium. So potassium, you get it from orange peelings, banana peelings, and the onion. When you cut an onion and put it in water, you can just water and you get your flowers. So this one had stayed for a long time without flowering, and then I did an experiment. I took banana peels, put them in water, let them sit for like 24 hours. After I watered them, within a few days it flowered. So that theory it's not a theory, it's correct, because I saw I think that tip on TikTok. Yeah, so if you don't follow me on TikTok, my TikTok is at whiny or so whiny. I'll be making videos over there. I just started it the other day. So let's continue. So the other plant I have, nilikuwa nimeiweka hapa because the sun isn't getting where it was. I bought this version of a rose plant. I think it's also the other expensive plant I have. The lady was selling it at 250. I got her to sell it at 200. And I think it was a steal because, as I've told you over and over again, I want plants that just swell up and grow. So this, I am planting it soon in a larger container. Though we put it somewhere, I think around here, so it grows in, like the bush to go up and continue curling, because I've been watching videos on how I can make that happen, and I know I'll do that. And also the rose plant, if planted correctly in this heat, you have to water it. So when I left for also that 1 week, it's when I came back and all the other leaves had fallen because they were not watering them. Nikamwambia lazima you water these plants over and over again. And also me, like as you've seen, I am a person who loves plants, so I have to learn how to propagate them. So something I did, I experimented with my propagating skills and I got a baby plant from that rose plant. And also these are my chilies that this is my nursery for my chilies, natumia the same container. So during the rainy season, hopefully these ones will be big. I'll plant them. I'll show you which type of chilies are this, because you know the basic ones, like the common ones in this area, I wanted to have my own. That's when Liziaka close to the house, I monitor them. What else? On this corner, I have this other type of succulent, and it also have the jelly bean inside here. Right now it isn't doing that good, but I have the jelly bean over here. As I've said, succulents, they make themselves grow. So when a leaf falls from a succulent and it has soil and water, obviously it will grow. So that's why I just love all my succulents. So here I have I have this baby palm tree. Hopefully it's continuing to grow because I got it from somewhere. They've fallen, I think, from a tree, alafu zikamea hapo chini, so I saw they needed at a home, like somewhere else, like near my dad's building. So I got the whatever it because zinaanguka hapo chini zikamea. Obviously nobody's going to take off them because it's near public space. I get them at home, I put them here. So this is a version of another plant I showed you. Easy to propagate, like I showed you earlier. So this one gives a white plant in it gives what do you call this, flowers, red. Those are red. So here like as I told you, I left home for 1 week. The same song. These plants don't need care. Certainly you'll plant them and think zitaendelea ku thrive just like that. Daily care. Plant parents, you know. So this was a daisy plant. I bought it for 100 bob from my lady, the one I get it from every time I go to Nairobi. This was the basic daisies, like the white and yellow. So otherwise, either way, they are growing back, as you can see, but it's going to take time. See, this is what happens if you don't take care of plants. They do dry. Yeah, then we have another spider plant. Really, like if you put soil here and leave it, one of these plants is just going to jump onto the next. So when you don't have a place to plant your plants, so you can just get containers, put soil, and continue adding on. So, CG, like if you guys subscribe and get me to 500 subscribers, keeps on commenting on my videos, I might do a plant giveaway. I don't know how it's going to get to you, but I might do just a plant giveaway. So here, Oh, Jana, I wish I'd done this video yesterday. I have the African daisy. I also got it from the same plant lady at 100 bob. Naikamea. Like 80. This isn't even the mother plant, the one which I got. This is a propagation. The mother died. R.I.P. The mom died, but the daughter continues to thrive. So I'm waiting for her to do her thing. I get more daisies from here. So the daisy like the babies come from uko chini. They just grow 10 and 10 and 10. I need to water that. It's looking a little bit of dry. So more snake plants. So this container, when I planted it, it was the daisy plant. As I've told you, we just need plants which are going to regenerate themselves over and over again. Ikaruka hapo, ikamea. More of them, they just continue doing their thing. Alafu here, I have a different type of hydrangeas. That one has white in it. This one is it will be just plain pink or plain. Is it pink or red? Yeah. When it starts flowering. So also it I got from that lady. She was selling it at I think 200 bob. The other one was 250, but this one was 200 because it was a small plant. Then here I was just experimenting. Nikachukua container. This is a snake plant. This was the mom leaf. I need to know how you can get plant like more snake plants from a leaf cutting, because my other ones I just got them like the entire stalk and planted them down. So this one I wanted to know how I can get more of this, and shockingly it didn't generate the same version of the snake plant. Really generate a different kind without the yellow lines, which I still love. Then here, Pesino, we have we just threw some seeds for popo na zikamea hapa, so we're just waiting for the rainy season ndo tuzipande chini. Yeah. Okay. Then here we have a money plant. This plant is so old, so it jumps from one container to the next and continues to grow. Then here we have the same succulent, the same plants I showed you on the other side. And nilikuwa nimewaonyesha, these yellow flowers are what just jump into the next pot and a new plant is born. And a money plant, more arrowheads just running around uko nyuma. That's what is making this area greener. That's how most people wakikuja hapa, they want plants. I just give them a small thing. Now it goes and grows over and over again, so there's no need of even having that many. Yeah, so what else we have? Experiment which plants will do well on the ground. So I did try to, those are other succulents I'd shown you before. I did try to put them on ground. So here, this is how it looks like during the dry season. It turns that color. And also this other one, I don't know the name, like I'll put the name obviously. So also this one is a different succulent which continues to regenerate itself. And also here I have my one and only monstera. So this monstera, here it has come a long way. I tried planting it in a container, it wasn't doing anything, but when I put it on the ground, it's when I started seeing new leaves coming up, because it had stayed for a long time. Just the leaves I'd gotten, like because I got a cutting from a neighbor and tried planting it. Putting it in a container, it was so refraining, but her, she plants it in containers here. I think most people here, most of the plants are planted in containers because you put it in the ground till dry, obviously. But this one is thriving, but I have to water it constantly. Then here we have a tree which just grew by itself. It's a custard apple. Or wait, this is a soursop. Ilijimeza hapo. My mom was like, "Msiitoa hapo, just leave it there to become a tree." Then we continue. We continue the same thing. So venye nilisema, these things do take over. We have the snake plant, that version. Alafu the succulent I'd shown you. Alafu this year I tried to experiment and planted some some dragon fruit over there. I have 3 curtains. I have like 3 curtains on the corner. I wanted to see how they will persevere. So far so good, they're still green. I have some more over there, but these ones are not looking that so good. Alafu hapa we have the only dragon fruit so far imejishikilia kwa wall. As you can see, imejishikilia kwa wall. Yeah, otherwise we have this continue to experiment. Sapa kitambo we used to plant like hibiscus after the cows used to bite them, so we were trying to plant trees zenye the cows won't bite, or the goats when they're passing by. Yeah, so this is another hibiscus which had dried because obviously they were not watering them. During dry season you can't just assume plants are going to continue thriving. You have to water them. Nika easy, I don't know the name, but it's good for this area because even other neighbors have planted it and it grows into an entire big tree. So here to change the atmosphere of this place once it grows up into a big tree. Then we have this other plant which we waited. This flower plant has different types of flowers. So we waited for a long time because when you buy it from a tree nursery, it hasn't flowered yet, so where's it dry, it's which color. So I was hoping to use the pink flower, but we got the white flower, which is bado. It's white pinkish, still good, but I'll try getting the pink one because I saw a cousin of mine hapo kwa karibu na kwao wako nayo. Alafu as you watched my first videos, here I planted mint, and as I'm telling you, if you don't water your plants, they'll eventually dry out. So the mint which was here is already dry, but we have a bank. But I have somewhere I've stored it like in a different container, so I'll just get it and plant it here. But during dry season, mint in this area, if you don't water it, just miss one day. The mint plant is just tricky. I've seen other areas like where I got my mint, they wamepanda chini. Hapa you can grow your mint like on the ground. So twende hapa because it's this thing. If you've watched my propagating plants video, these are the snake plants I propagated, and those other succulents which I put here. They're still continuing to do its thing as jazana bado. So which is good, like in the next rainy season it's going to be okay. So a fun fact for snake plants which I didn't know: if you have snake plants in near your home, they help chasing away the snakes, which we need because when we first moved here the snakes were a lot, but right now we don't see that many plants. So let's go and finish up this video. The other corner of the house, we have these plants which are this flower. When it falls next to it falls down, that's the seed, so it continues to regenerate itself, of which we don't love this flower because it like the roots do cause cracking. We've been trying to remove them, and kuzitoa like forever it's hard because it has already caused like housing all rooted in this area. So the other ones are these ones which shockingly they don't do so good during when it's hot. So this is the bank. We get the babies from here when it rains and plant them to ground. Then when the sun comes they dry up, but when it rains they regenerate. So here we have some of these are just like a nursery. These are custard apple of the south up seedling. And here we have our first bamboo cuttings, which we put them here. We've been trying to take care of them because also bamboo, if we plant it in the ground, hapa inakauka, so we put it in the containers. And also here we have K apple. These are K apple, you use it for fence. So here it's just like a small nursery. Then here we have lemongrass, which has been beaten by the goats. They do eat it. And also here we have the mint, like the bank I was telling you. This is where I put the mint to later propagate in other areas. Then here we have our remaining rosemary plant. Also here, rosemaries, when you plant them in the ground and you refuse to water them, zitakauka. So tuko na rosemary, alafu next chili plants, alafu next we have, like the tree had shown you, we left one of them to be the mother of our next plant, so tukaziacha hapo. That's how we keep our plants going. Alafu here we have zambarau, like the plants, alafu more lemongrass, more seedlings, an orange seedling, and lastly we have the other aloe vera plant I was telling you about. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Hopefully it's not that long. I'll try to edit it. Okay, that's it for this video. So in my next video I'll be showing you how I'm going to start my tree nursery for almost $0, next to nothing. Just how you can start your own tree nursery without spending that much of money. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.